Alrighty, we are ready to go. Before we start, any questions? No? No, let's start. Well, today, officially, actually, it should be the second lesson of session 2. Okay, someone ask a question or just a join. Let me check. Okay, someone just join us. I think it's Sage. Welcome. Um, Again, yeah, today is the second lesson of session 2, but since we canceled the first one, that should be on July 29th. I was traveling out of the town. Just came back last weekend. Actually, yeah, last Sunday. So today, well, is the first lesson. But since session 2 is continuation of session 1, so I call today's lesson as lesson 6. Um, I in the email I asked everyone if it's okay to have a makeup lesson for the canceled, not canceled, oh yeah, canceled July 29th, or the first lesson was session 2, um, to be held on Wednesday, the next Wednesday, the coming Wednesday. If that's okay, let me know, or if it's not okay, yeah, especially if it's not okay, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to just pick Wednesday at the same time, 5 o'clock, and have the makeup. So that's the makeup for the first lesson. Actually, that's lesson 2 or lesson 6. All right. Um, since most of us, took the session 1, so why don't we just do a quick review on the previous homework or the last of the last lesson. That's lesson 5. Only a couple questions in homework 5. The first one, create the MySQL insert into statement to insert yourself to the persons table. If you remember, we created our database, testDB, and we created a table called a persons. And of course, the persons table contains all the, person information.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but may I please get a quick guide on how to download MySQL? Or if you can't, then that's fine because I think I could try it myself.
you, let me see, your name?
Kevin,
Kevin.
yeah.
Um, were you with me after the last lesson? Oh, not you, I forgot. I think it's you, right?
I
Not you?
I was in the last class, but I don't think I was there for the installation guide.
Oh,
I wasn't there for lesson 4, I think.
oh, okay. The installation. Oh, you were in the lesson 4, right? Yeah, it's if you use Unix or Windows.
I use Windows. I think I'm
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. Right. So you use Windows. Um, we did that in lesson 4.
okay.
Uh,
Wait, can you install 32-bit? Like, do I install web community or just community? That's all
you
I'm
just
asking.
do the community. You download the communities. Here,
Okay.
download that one. So you follow that link. Download this one, and
All right.
then yeah. So and
Thank
then
you.
double click, and then you just follow the steps here. Okay.
All right.
Try it if you have trouble, and you can either email me. We pick a time, or we can do it. Maybe before the next lesson or after next lesson. How's that sound? Is that okay for you?
All right. That sounds okay, but I'm pretty sure I could try doing it myself.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, then I'll ask you.
Yep. Definitely. Yep. Okay, then I'm going to continue here then. The homework, yeah, oops, we look at the answers. Yeah, um, yeah, we have this table, right? And if you select everything, we have that. So the homework asks you to add yourself, basically use your name, and your address and the city, and add a record to that table. Well, you don't have that table. I just want you to come up with a statement like that. Okay. To verify this is the right statement, we are going to just copy. I use Control C from my Mac. Command C. Windows you use Control C, and then I shift to here. I think if I just click the right mouse, paste, or you can click a right mouse button on your mouse, and then just I think there's a edit, and then paste. That's a safe way. But anyway, so I paste that statement here. You can see that in the SQL session, if you have multiple line, then the first line on the first and the second is a dash. That's a means second line, multiple line. So finish the statement with semicolon or as always. So the statement is insert into, that's keyword, into this table, and the specific columns, not including the person ID, because remember we define person ID as a special field that or we call um, uh, uh, the primary key field or column, and also is auto it's automated. Well, I pick up that word. It's auto incremental. So if you don't include that field in your statement, it will actually populate that field with the next available integer. So if you already have 1 or 2, the next one is going to be just 3 by the database itself. So if I hit return here, it should insert that field. Let's see, did I hit enter? Hit enter again. Mhm. Something wrong? No, well, just, yeah. This is a remote machine. What it's doing? I said, go ahead and do it. Hit return again. Come on. Oh, I don't know what happened. I had to hit multiple times. But when you say query is okay, seeing the MySQL session, even though you are doing insert, it says query, but it's okay. It treated us somehow. I think the insert this statement insert the new record, and then there's a follow. The following is, I guess, query the thing and then return result. Okay, you insert one row, so that's why I call it query. Okay, but it's okay if we call it query. Maybe you should call it insert. Okay, but never mind that. So when you see that line, means when you see okay, that means yeah, your insert is okay. Of course, to really verify it was really okay or not, and then you can always get that query. This is a select is a query, and just select it. Now you can see we have the new record. That's how you insert a record into a table. Again, to see the table definition. Oh, and my keyboard is funny now. Persons. Yeah, this is called a primary key. The key is called a primary. You can have a secondary or foreign key. That's not secondary, foreign versus a foreign key. If we link two tables, if you link this table to another table and use the other table's primary key in your table, and that key in your table will be called a foreign key. Foreign means other table's primary key. But we will learn that later. So just tell you that this column is auto increment means it uses a counter internal to the database system. It monitor the value you used. So now we already use 1, 2, 3. Next time when you add a record to this table, it will know, oh, okay, you use 3 already. The next one is going to be 4. Just let you know that. Okay, the next one is update. The question, what's the question? Create the update statement to update your record to have a different address. Oh, okay, so you insert this record. Now say, oh, address is incorrect. So update your address from 123 Main to 123 Broadway Avenue. So how to update that? Just the address. Leave the other fields alone. Then you would use update table set address equal to the new value where, make sure where the person ID is, I said 2, but well, we see that we added this record as 2. So in that case, unless you want to update person ID 2, so you probably want to 3, use 3. But let's see, we can change that. Let's just try that. So I copy this in, come to this window, I paste in. Come on. So paste, I use that, use that. Okay, now it's here. Now change that to 3. So we will replace 123 May to 123 Broadway. And now I hit return. Probably have to hit return a couple times. Yeah, this session is not on my local machine, it's a remote machine. And it doesn't respond that well. Come on. Hit return, I said. Again. I don't know why I had to hit multiple times. But anyway, so that record should be updated. Not. Oh, you know why it's not? Because I picked the wrong ID. We don't have 1003. We have 1, 2, or 3. So that's why it didn't update anything. So what we need is match the ID and hit return. This time should work. It says, yeah, rows matched 1, changed 1, 0 warnings. And here rows match 0. That means because we don't have that ID. That value is not, doesn't exist. So if we select that again, now, yeah, address is updated. Okay. Oh yeah, I put a note here. Assuming the ID from user is that. If not, then yeah, pick a different number. I think it's time to look at today's thing. Today we are going to learn MySQL delete statement. The delete statement is used to delete the existing records or rows from a table. If it doesn't exist, then the delete doesn't do anything. Of course, to delete the right rows or records, you always want to use a where clause with all the condition to match the records you want to delete. Without a where, it's dangerous because if you just delete from table and nowhere, then that means you delete everything from the table. Yeah, if you have a table, to play with, it's okay, doesn't hurt anything. But if you have a table that is being used by a live application, then you have to be really, really, really careful when you delete anything from the table. Don't make a mistake. If you delete, then the whole table is gone or empty. Of course, then in that case, you have to restore from backup, and you lose some work since the last successful backup. So just a warning. So always, and normally when you delete something, you probably want to run query first, like a select from the table where this condition to make sure, when you run the select, you can see which record or which record is are selected before you run the delete um, statement. So, for example, if you want to delete the first or the person ID equal to 1, you just delete from. You need a from actually, not just delete. So they said MySQL delete statement. I would say MySQL delete from statement. So the from has to follow delete. So the two words together. Um, oh yeah, here's to empty a table, you just delete from that, no condition. That's when you want to have an empty table, but normally don't run this one without a where clause. So let's run this one. Okay. Since again the online this thing, see it doesn't offer the try it because this online the WS schools they don't want you to delete any record from their testing table, even though that those tables are testing. But if you delete it, they have to put it back. So that's why they don't offer a try it. And that's why we won't do it from our local database and tables. Okay, let's say we want to delete the first one. To delete the first one, before you run the delete from, you probably want to select star from persons where person ID equal to 1. Make sure you make sure, yeah, you run CS select and you say, oh, okay, Smith Steve, that's the record I want to delete. Make sure that's okay, that's correct. Otherwise, don't run delete. So if that's correct, then you can say, okay, now delete. Change the select to delete. Now it's gone. Now if you select the query table again, empty, yeah, that record is gone. If you want to select everything, yeah, number 1 is gone, only 23 left. Okay, that's a delete. Dangerous, but many times you have to do it. If you have to do it, you got no choice, and then just do it. And the only thing you want to keep in mind is be careful, You don't want to delete the wrong record or delete everything from the table, then you'll get trouble, get panic, sweating. So delete is powerful, but scary command. Limit. Where's the limit? The limit clause is used to specify the number of records to return. The limit clause is useful on large tables with thousands of records. Returning a large number of records can impact performance. Performance, that means, let's say in your table, let's see in this table, persons table, we have a million customer or whatever, million names of persons. Then if you just run this select from, then you run it, you got a million record return back. When you have a lot records to return, it take a lot of memory and also take a lot of network bandwidth. And you have to wait like many minutes to see the result. And that's not normally not necessary. Unless you want to dump the whole table to a file, there's a different command. You can select the whole thing and then save the output into a file. That's fine. But if you just want to see a few records on your screen, this statement actually is not not a good idea to run. Of course, when your table had only like two records, even a few hundred records, you don't care. But if you have many thousands records, then this command is no good. So in this case, they say, you know what? I only want to see the first 10 records. Then you put a limit 10. Then it just return the first 10. Of course, our table we don't have that many. I only have two. So well, you only see two. Um, yeah. If you really want to see the result, let's say I only want to see the first record. Just limit 1. Then you only see the first record. That's the first record. And if you want to see only 2, you see 2. And you want to see 3, you should see 3 if you have more than, 2 records in the table. So that's the limit. Yeah, we don't call the limit as statement. It's similar to the where. It's just like a filter, it's like a filter. Um, and so that's normally after, select from, the where is optional. If you don't have where, it's just like the first record in the table. But if there's a where, you can, it's similar. It's filter the where clause. Here that means you can add a where. You want to see 1. By default, is a 1 record. If you want to say, okay, I want to add a where person ID equal to 3, then you should see 3. So the limit, they run the where first, and the limit is a filter. That's limit. Cool. And when do the limit, I think there's I didn't put that into the node. I think if you do limit, you can do limit 1, the low limit and the upper limit. I think. 2. No, maybe I'm wrong. Never mind. I saw that you can specify the range. Probably not. The next thing is not. It's not a clause. It's not a statement. The delay is called a statement. Limit called clause, like a where clause. And something with parentheses, guess what? They call functions. So you can use functions in SQL statement. And min, you can guess, is minimum. It stands for minimum. The min function returns the smallest value of the selected column or fields. And max returns the largest value of the selected column. Of course, assume those columns store numbers, right? If they store text strings, I don't think it works. We can try that, but yeah, normally on the number columns. So the syntax, is straightforward. Select a min, and in the put the column name as the parameter of the function. So basically, give me the smallest value of this column. From that table, of course, meet the condition. I first select all the rows, all the records, with this condition that meet this condition, and then they get the minimum. Compare all of them and get the minimum value, the smallest value. And similarly, the max is this. Give me the maximum value, the greatest value or largest value. For example, from the product table of that online, demo database, the Northwind, you want to see the lowest or the cheapest product, the lowest price from that product table. Oh, here is This is something extra we haven't learned. So you select this thing, the mean price. You can store that as a give it a variable name called a smallest price. So select that, save the value as, that's why there's as. So select the minimum value, save it as smallest price. So in the output, you see a column on your screen. Instead of you see a price, you see smallest price. So you can't see. If you just show price, then well, that's confusing, right? It's not the price; it's the smallest price. So you want to give the this field a alias, a alternative name or variable name or alternative display name. Let's call that. So use as after the select statement. Right? And again, similarly for max, give me the largest price. Save that as largest price. So this one we have the online um, example. So just try it and run it. Yep. So yeah, 2.5. Well, we just have to trust it. But to see all other values, you just replace that. And let me see who is here now. I think Sage. Okay, good. You just run it. Price. Oh, price here. Yeah. Price 18, 30, 97, blah, 123. Oh, 2.5. That should be the smallest or lowest price, right? So yeah, if you select the whole table, you see all the price. But with that, it get the lowest or smallest price. And see, this is the display name. That's because we save that value as a display name smallest price. So then we see that, right? What if we drop it? We run it. Come on, run it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense too. It shows as price, minimum price, 2.5. Yeah, that's okay. So it looks like a, little function name here. That's okay. And that's for the minimum value. But what if we want to get the largest value or the highest price from the products table? Then the try it is, oh, okay, 263, the largest price. So that's the min and the max function. Okay, where am I? Yeah, I'm okay there. Let's look at the count. Oh, we haven't tried. Oh, I said I mentioned that. I said when you use main max functions, we assume the column is a number column. What if you try it like on a text field, like oh, I want to sort the text, or like a first name, last name. I want to see if the name is start with A or the name is start from with Z. Can I use the main and max? I don't think so, but let's just try it anyway. Um, oh, the how about product name? Put a name here. I'm not sure if we have the name field. I forgot. Where do we have that? That's customer table. Let's write that. Try that first. Well, the error is unknown column. That's fine. Yeah, we know that. You don't have that name. Let's But start here. Oh yeah, product name. Okay, product name. Let's copy that. Mm, Control C. Product name. So let's see we can get a mean value from the name or text field. Oh, interesting. Wow, I really didn't know that. I really didn't know that. We can get that thing. That's a surprise. Um, let's verify. Product name. Alice Mouton. We can use a mean on that. Okay. So that's not ordered. I'm going to show you a thing we haven't learned yet called order by product name. Order by. That means I get I select all the product names from the products table, and by default it's not sorted or not ordered, and I want to add this order by statement or clause to force the return results are ordered from A to Z. Okay, so the first one is Alice Mouton, and that match the result when we use a mean on the field. So it appears that the min and the max function can work on non-number fields. That's very interesting and good to know, of course. So, oh, the order by default is ascending, means from A to Z, but you can change the order by say descending. I think a D and C, I think, or CS, I forgot. Let's try the descending. Yeah, now you reverse the order. So if you add that, default is ascending, and if you add a descending, then it reverse the order from Z to A, right? If you remove that thing, the default is from A to Z. Now it's going back. All right, that's cool. That's cool. So min max, that worked. So I bet if we use max, we would get a Zan's Koken, hopefully. Let's try the max. Okay, that's price, that's fine. And we want to try product name. And we don't need that anymore. We just want to get the, it's not the max value, of course. It's basically the product name, the last, if we order it, the last product name. That's what we want to get. Yeah, it is. So the min and max, it looks like, for numbers, it compare the number and, compare the numbers and then pick the largest. If it's a name, text string, or text fields, text value, order them and then pick the last one. So it looks like that's the effect. That's very good to know. Now, what's next? There's another function we want to learn. Count. Yeah, I think count is very, very common and popular when you use a query database, because many times you want to like how many records do I have in this table, or how many records that meet a certain condition. Let's say if it's a customer table, how many customers from a specific country, state, or city. So that's why the count function is very, very useful. And the syntax is very simple as well. So select and count, then you add the column name. Actually, column name is optional. You don't need to specify column name. You can just put a star there, but you cannot leave it empty. I think you cannot leave it empty. We'll test that. For example, from the products table, if you want to know how many products in my table, you can just simply run this statement: select count product ID or any field, product ID or product name or product price, any field is okay, or just no field at all, put a star there as a wildcard. Stands for any field. So we have that demo here, 77. So we have 77 records or products in the products table. What I'm saying is you can call it a product ID, you can count ID or count a name, also 77. How about price? Price, yeah, so also 77. Or you can say, I don't want to say anything. So this is actually, this is what I do. Normally I don't pick a column. I just put a star there. I just say, since I don't care about individual or specific column, just put a star there. Just tell me how many records, do you have. So I just put a star here. So I don't have to type, because if you type a wrong name, you got an error. So I just put a star. Yeah, so 77. Now, yeah, to to count the whole thing, that's one aspect, but many times is you want to add a condition. Say, how many products do I have with a price lower than $100? You know, show me all the products, with a price lower than $100. It shouldn't be 77 anymore. Oh, 75. Wow, most of them are below 100. Only two above. Only two above. So then, of course, how many products more expensive than 100 or more or equal? You want to more higher or equal to 100? Should be two, right? Yeah. So it should be two. So that's why the count function is useful. You can check that, or you can say, let's buy by price. How about oh, that's not customer cost. What do we have? Product. We got price. What else we can filter in the where? To do that, we want to see what do we have. We got product, supplier. Oh, how about apply? Yeah, or unit. Yeah, good. Or category. Let's try supplier. Oh, see the supplier and the category. You see the numbers. You may wonder what are what they are, and it's just 1, 2, 3. What does that mean? Actually, 1, 2, 3 are, as I said before, are foreign keys. They are primary keys, or they are the supplier IDs. They are primary keys in the supplier table. There must be a supplier table. Okay, in the supplier table, and then there's a key that's called a supplier key. In that table, this field is a primary key. And to refer the supplier from the products table, they call the foreign keys. And similarly, the category, this is a product category. This one probably means, I don't know, appliances, to maybe clothing, 7 maybe, I don't know, vehicle, just for example. So yeah. So let's see if we say how many products from supplier one, how many products supplier one uh, supply us. So in the table, you say supplier ID equal to 1. Um, you want to count? Oh, 3. How many from 7? 5. Something like that. So you got the idea, right? Oh, 3 again. So that's supplier ID. To show the supplier, I guess I haven't said there must be a supplier table in this example or demo database. Suppliers, maybe. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there is a suppliers table, and it has 29 suppliers. Um, yeah, you can see that this supplier table, this ID, this must be the key. Let's see if we can see if it's a primary key. You just describe, not a descending. This one, this also. In MySQL, DSC means describe the table, but in the SQL statement, order by DSC means descending. So it's two different words, but the first four letters happen to be the same. So let's describe. Okay, yeah, not surprising. And supply ID is the key, primary key, and it's also set as auto increment. So that means it increases by 1 every time you add a new record to the table. Okay, that's supplier. And we also see there is a category, right? I think category. I forgot where that is. Category. Oh, not there. So that's in the the product table. Yeah, the product. Yeah, the product has a category ID. That's also a foreign key for this table, and it's a primary key in the categories table. And I bet there's a categories table. Coming on. It's not running or it's waiting for something. Okay, well, it's just slow. So yeah, there's a category table, and yep, category ID is a primary key auto increment, and how many categories records select from. Not many. Oh, 8. Only 8 of them. Okay, what category? Okay, yeah. One is beverages, 4 dairy, 7 produce, 8 seafood. Yep. Okay, though. So they do have all those tables. Um, we were on the count. Yep, we were on the count. So we try supplier. If we try category ID, let's just set 3. So means how many products from category ID 3. And cause 3 is confection, desserts, candies, or sweet stuff. Yeah, of course. How many? 13. Oh man, that's a lot. Number 1, category 1. Oh, also it's 12. I thought it's not running, but it ran also one. Jeez, I try a different one. Oh, 5. Okay, and the 7 is what? Oh, produce. Dry throw, Binkered. Okay, not bad. Okay, that's the count with a where clause. Yeah, and we have more functions to look at next time. Because this is the first lesson after a couple weeks break. Let's stop here. Don't want you get overwhelmed. And if you missed any of the previous lessons, you can always watch the recordings, the lesson recordings. And also, I'm going to upload today's recording just in case you want to review anything. Um, yeah, and just click recording, and then I haven't done anything yet, so nothing there. But all the recordings should be here. Just watch that on YouTube, and I give you a few questions to think about. Yeah, create some delete statement, select statement with limit, get the cheapest product, most expensive product, how many customers from London in the customers table. So yeah, try them and see if you can come up with those SQL statements. We look at all of them. Yeah, and if you review those, you should be able to figure out by yourself. Okay. All right then. Let's stop here. If you have any questions, you can stay. Otherwise, I see you on Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Okay.